Hey guys, so just a quick coming soon video for you all because the Cinema One Originals Film Festival 2014 is going to happen. Well, it started today. It's going to run all the way up till November 18 at Glorieta 4, Green Hills, Fairview Terraces, and Trinoma. So I hope you guys haven't watched Interstellar too many times in IMAX because you'll be needing the money for the coming week. Alright, so this is just a quick rundown of the movies that will be showing at the Cinema Originals Festival. In total, they're showing 22 films, not counting the short films that they're going to be showing and some reruns of old Cinema Originals movies. And for those of you who don't know, the Cinema Originals Festival, it's kind of like the second biggest independent film festival here in the Philippines next to Cinemalaya. This one is kind of more known to be a bit more experimental, but we'll see if that's true like this year. So I'm literally just gonna kind of run through their synopses here and like who directed them, who's in the cast. So first of all, alphabetical order, there's the babysitters, and the synopsis provided here is kind of vague. It's just, paano kung magulang mo ay manggugulang? I just know that this movie, like the plot, is about like these two people who end up having to like care for these babies while running away from like people who want to kill the babies or something like that. Like something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure whether this is gonna be like a comedy or a drama or something, but it's directed by Paolo O'Hara from the O'Hara filmmaking family, starring Jason Gainza, Katya Santos, and Giz Teo Careza. Yeah, I don't really know anything about this movie. I can't find the trailer. And second, we have Bitukang Manok, directed by Alec Figuracion, starring Ken Anderson, Mara Lopez, Kate Alejandrino, Chino Alfonso, Missy Maramara, Gucci Lorenzana, Terry Malvar, Renwin Gabalonzo, Rino Marco, and the synopsis reads, three groups of travelers, a family, a group of four friends from Manila, and two truck drivers from Bicol find themselves inexplicably driving around in circles, isolated and trapped for days. It's here that they must encounter their own psychological demons as they wander through the dense forest and never-ending roads. This is actually the most promising one to me from the 10 in competition films this year because the trailer was super cool and just the synopsis is just loaded with lots of like kind of eerie psychological stuff, so I'm really interested to see where this goes. Third, we have Esprit de Corps. So Esprit de Corps is a tale of young cadets during Hell Week in military training before the fall of Marcos' dictatorship. It's directed by Kanakan Balintagos, formerly known as Aureos Solito. And it stars Sandino Martin, JC Santos, Larvi Policarpio, Gary Lim, Abner Delina Jr., and VJ Mendoza. I'm really worried about this one because compared to the other submissions this year, this one like it doesn't feel like it has that production value to really back it up. I'm really afraid this might end up like something like Lihis last year, which was trying to be like a more LGBT themed kind of movie, but it just kind of turned into kind of like softcore porn. I don't know. Nevertheless, I will still be seeing it though, and of course, I'm still hopeful it will completely like defy my expectations. Next up, we have Hindi Sila Tatanda, directed by Malay Javier, starring Kian Cipriano, Ketchup Eusebio, Mara Lopez, and Don Jimenez. So the synopsis just reads, a group of friends embark on a trip to retrace the legend of a UFO sighting. This seemed really interesting to me when I first like read this really short synopsis, and while I don't really like Kian Cipriano, they have Mara Lopez in the cast, so it kind of balances it out. But then I watched the trailer and I don't really know what to think of it because it's kind of strange and it might it might be like some sort of weird like road comedy kind of thing, but I really don't know. So maybe this might also go closer to the experimental reputation of Cinema One, but we will see. Next up we have Lorna, directed by Sigrid Andrea Bernardo, who, if I'm not mistaken, directed Ang Huling Chacha ni Anita last year. It stars Charmaine Buencamino, Lav Diaz, Felix Rocco, Maria Isabel Lopez, Raquel Villavicencio, Jim Paredes, Alex Medina, Juan Rodrigo, Angel Aquino. So the synopsis reads, a 60-year-old woman still searches for the one even after a string of failed relationships. Now it goes without saying that this movie sounds a lot like First Goes the Third from Cinemalaya earlier this year. The trailer though makes it seem more like a comedy than like what First Goes the Third was trying to be like. So I don't know how this will end up because again the trailer seems a bit scattered. It's just interesting to see Lav Diaz, acting in this kind of movie. Next up we have Red, directed by Jay Abello, starring Jerry Rosales, Mercedes Cabral, Nico Antonio, JM Rodriguez, Mylene Dizon, Shandy Bacolo, John Arcea, Dwight Gaston, Angelo Cortez, and Monsur Del Rosario. So Red, a shy orphan, grew up in a girly bar. He eventually became a fixer who can bail anyone out of trouble. One day, a rich kid is gunned down in a drug bust that results in the disappearance of 8 million pesos worth of drugs. Red is hired by Art, a socialite, to settle the mess, but later on, the dutiful fixer gets framed for the crime. This seemed really interesting to me because I really like Jerry Gonzalez as an actor in these kinds of roles. But then the trailer also was kind of it's an interesting tone because it didn't come off as dark as I thought it was going to be. It seems kind of it feels like a pseudo inspirational kind of thing that like that's how the trailer came off for me. I'm still kind of looking forward to it though because it's like the only real like crime thing in the festival, so it might be kind of unique in that regard. Next up, we have Soulmates, Seoul as in the place in South Korea. So Soulmates is about the plight of a Filipino transgender Alice and a Korean musician June, who are both heartbroken. Alice discovers that her boyfriend Jason is now living with a Korean woman, while June receives news that the love of his life is already engaged to someone else. So Alice and June meet unexpectedly and they decide to team up to get their exes back. This is directed by Nash Ang, stars Mimi Joreza, Jisoo Kim, Ramon Eusebio, and Ji-won Cha. This seemed really interesting to me because it's all international, whatever. There's a big Korean community here in the Philippines, but watching the trailer really worried me because it's coming off as this really melodramatic kind of thing, and I really hope it doesn't go that route. Mimi Juarez obviously also won the Best Actor award at Cinemalaya last year, so it has some credibility to it. It's just I'm really worried because this does not look very good from the trailer. And then we have soap opera. A couple seduces foreigners to visit the Philippines with the promise of marriage to con them for money. So it's directed by Remton Slega Zuasola, sorry. Stars Lovey Po, Rocco Nasino, Bugoy Carino, Matt Taclan, Natile Sitoy, and Chris Perez. Um, I couldn't find the trailer for this, and I don't really know what to think also of this. I don't know if it's going to be more of a comedy or a drama. Um, I literally have nothing to say about it. Second to last, we have that thing called Dadhana. So a woman and a man meet at an airport, both out of love. They form a friendship and attempt to mend each other's hearts. This is directed by Antoinette Jadaone, I don't know how to pronounce her name still, who directed Beauty in a Bottle. It stars Jem de Guzman and Angelica Panganiban. So this is the one that I think most people are looking forward to because the title is cute and the trailers are cute and whatnot. I am kind of optimistic about this because I did think the director had good ideas in Beauty in a Bottle, and Angelica Panganiban is really good in that too. So, this might be like a cutesy kind of romance thing, and I'm hoping it really just delivers on those basic, things. And finally, we have Violator, directed by Eduardo Dayo, stars Joe Lamangan, Victor Neri, and RK Bagaching. So it says Manila is besieged by the worst typhoon to hit the country. 5 people, including 3 policemen, meet in a precinct and are forced to confront a dark secret. This is like probably the second thing I'm really looking forward to next to Bitukang Manok because it feels the same in the sense that it feels very dark. It feels kind of experimental based on the trailer also. And there's a bit of social commentary I think that might be going on here because it mentions like the worst typhoon to hit the country, and Yolanda just hit, and it's the first anniversary for that. So this might be kind of timely in that sense, and I don't know, the fact that it's so ambiguous and mysterious kind of feels promising to me. So those are the 10 films in competition this year, but aside from those ones, they're also screening some digitally restored Filipino classic movies. So they have Anak, directed by Rory Quintos. They have Hindi Nahati ang Langit by Mike De Leon. Kapag Langit ang Humatol, directed by Loris Guillen. One More Chance, directed by Cathy Garcia Molina. And Oro Plata Mata, directed by Peke Galiga. I watched Anak like when I was in high school. I didn't really like it then because I was forced to watch it, but I'm willing to check it out again. I haven't heard of the second and the third one, so I'm sorry. One More Chance, if you have not seen One More Chance, you have to see it. It's like the best modern rom-com here in the Philippines ever. And then Oro Plata Mata I also watched quite a while back. I didn't really like it, but I didn't think I was really in the right mindset to watch it. It's like over 3 hours long, but it's considered one of the like Filipino movies. But most exciting, they're also screening 7 movies from different parts of Asia. Some of them are actually pretty like they have lots of cred behind them also. So first you have Black Coal Thin Ice, directed by Diao Yinan from China. It won the Golden Bear at the 2014 Berlin International Film Festival. Then you have Coming Home from China also, directed by Zhang Yimou, which premiered at Cannes. And you have Heimu, the Sea Fog from South Korea, directed by Songbo Shim. And then again from South Korea, Hill of Freedom, directed by Hong Sang-soo. Then you have The Golden Era from Hong Kong, directed by An Hui. And then The Lunchbox from India, directed by Ritesh Batra, which I've heard many good things about. And finally, like the big one, is Winter Sleep from Turkey, directed by Nuri Bilge Ceylan, which won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival this year, which is huge. So I really want to check that out also. So as you can see, there's tons of content to catch at the Cinnamon Originals Festival this year. So please go out and support local film and like try to support also the international films. And yeah, hopefully you guys get to see as much as you can. And once you do, just tell me what you thought of any of them. If you loved them or you hated them, whatever you thought, please leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation.